movie this week was Theodore Rex.
Yeah.
And we have a winner. I think we have officially had a winner. We've seen, as we discussed in the last episode, we have seen more than 100 terrible movies.
Yeah.
That were like considered the worst of all time. Like if you Google like worst movies of all time, we've seen just about all of the most legendarily bad movies. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. Theodore Rex is the worst. It's worse than The Room. It's worse than Birdemic, in my opinion.
I also...
It was it was so terrible.
It was, and we also had a lot of anticipation going in. There was a lot of hype.
How could you not be hyped up about this?
We were waiting forever to get it, and they didn't even have it on Netflix.
No.
So I had to order it off of Amazon.
How much did you pay for that? You must have paid a pretty penny for that thing, right?
I paid 40 cents.
40 cents for that, yeah.
Brand new.
A king's ransom for that.
And it was terrible. There's absolutely no plot. All you need to know is that this takes place in the future.
It's the future.
Somehow, dinosaurs got brought back by a scientist, but they're scaled down. They're like people size, and apparently they have normal jobs. And apparently today's racism
there's
is like the equivalent of speciesism.
Yeah, there's like there's a Chinatown, but like dinosaur town in the city.
They have their own nightclubs.
It's fucked up. It's such a weird. Oh my god, it's so weird. Anyways, this movie's terrible.
There like aren't even any major plot points. At least with other bad movies, you can highlight like certain things that happened. You're like, that was crazy. This was crazy. But this one, it was just like muddled through. Like.
I'm having trouble like picking out individual scenes at this point because like it's
everything like just kind of hazed together. Like they did not like the people who wrote this movie did not even sit down and be like, we need to discuss this. There was no storyboard as to like this scene, that scene. No, everything just blended together, and it definitely shows that there was no
effort put into it at all. I'm like just thinking about like what actually happened in this movie, and
but it's crazy to me because they did have to put effort in because it takes place in the future.
Fuck it. And that thing,
so it's a whole set. Like,
well, it doesn't look very good.
I know, but still, it's all costumes because it's futuristic.
Right.
It's all like people in dinosaur suits.
And Theodore Rex is an enormous, like 9-foot tall dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's made like a full suit. He's smacking things around with his tail. He's got his own dinosaur shower and shit. And so that must have been taking a lot of effort and skill because he looked. I mean, for what he was. At least he looked good, you know what I mean? It wasn't shittily made dinosaur, but every other decision they made was wrong.
It was. They just
the creature effects were good.
Everything.
Sort of.
Everything. If there was like 2 options, they definitely picked the wrong one.
They picked the wrong one every time.
Every time.
I hate this movie. Like it's just
Wait, hold on. Did we mention that Whoopi Goldberg is in this?
I don't even think we got that far. I think we just assumed that people would know. But anyways, okay, so. Theodore Rex is supposed... Let's go over the plot just basically, okay? Theodore Rex is a poster child on the police... He's a police officer who's like a poster child because he is the only dinosaur police officer on the squad.
Yeah.
And he's sort of like a public... A figurehead, basically. That they show out, you know, they bring him out for press conferences. Oh, here's our... dinosaur.
But he doesn't have any responsibilities, and
he's
so
like
he's really upset about it because he is the poster child, but they don't give him any sort of responsibilities because they don't really trust him.
He would like to actually be a real detective instead of just the poster child. But okay, so then there's a case where a dinocide, is that what they call it? Dinocide happens where one dinosaur has killed another dinosaur, which has never happened before. It's unprecedented. And they decide that they're going to put Theodore Rex on the case because it would be good for PR.
Mm-hmm. And he said that he also feels other dinosaurs' emotions.
Oh yeah, there was like a primal like.
Yeah, he's like dinosaurs just feel each other.
That was weird. That was so weird. It was like a.
It's almost like a telepathic connection.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but more of like a unit type.
It's like a hive mind kind of like, you know, where they're all like part of one entity kind of thing. But that does not apply to dinosaurs at all.
No.
They're just they're just reptiles. They're not like fucking bees or ants or something. But anyways, so they decide they need to put some one of their best on the case with Theodore Rex to keep him in line and shit. And that just happens to be Whoopi Goldberg, kick-ass. She's supposed to be a badass in this movie, but she is not. She is not. She just isn't.
They're always like the best police officer on the force and stuff. Like she's somebody to be reckoned with. But she is so pissed when she gets set up with Teddy Rex.
Oh yeah, they call him Teddy the whole time, which was really hard to listen to.
But anyway, so they like pair them together, and the head detective is like, "You two are gonna be partners," and she's like, "Oh no."
She's like, "Hell no, you're not saddling me with this this fucking dinosaur bitch."
Yeah.
Like this.
She's like really prejudiced.
She is really racist against. Yeah. She's black too. She's a black woman. In case you didn't know who Whoopi Goldberg is, she's black, but she's racist against dinosaurs. What happens next? I don't even know where do they go from there? Like,
I don't even know.
We watched it to be honest, we watched it a few days ago, and it was so bad that I've like blocked parts of it out of my mind. It's just that terrible.
I don't think I blocked anything out. I think I just didn't comprehend it because it's so outrageous.
We need to watch it again, I think.
No!
That visceral reaction.
Absolutely not.
There's no way you can get her. You couldn't pay her to watch this movie again. It's like we can't remember shit that happened, but it's just it was bad. Like, we watched Food Fight. Food Fight
was awful, but this movie was on a whole nother level.
I think this was literally worse than Food Fight, wasn't it?
I know, it was. And also I like that on like the back of it, it's marketed as Academy Award winner Whoopi Goldberg is the perfect comic partner for this hilarious futuristic family comedy.
It's not hilarious.
And
it's not a comedy either, is it?
It's not.
It's not funny.
And it's not family friendly.
It's not family friendly.
It's about a murder.
Yeah,
the premise of this is a murder, and they're like, this is a family movie. But I guess it's just family because there's goofy dinos everywhere.
They go to like seedy dinosaur nightclubs though, right?
Yeah,
it's like
and there's
weird.
Like some like gross stuff because there's like this sexy lady dinosaur.
Oh,
do you remember
so unsettling.
It was.
That woman, that girl dinosaur that he was attracted to, she was the worst.
Like lipstick and like a huge boa.
She had no personality. She's like.
And she had on like so much
dinosaur makeup. So much.
She had on like fake eyelashes.
I wonder if their makeup has to be different because of their reptile skin. I wonder if they had to use different makeup.
I don't know. This just really boggled my mind, everything about it, because they made. Oh my gosh, they so they were trying to make dinos like pretty equivalent to humans. Nope. But it was crazy.
They're like pterodactyls and shit. Like no.
I know. But hold on. So the main character, Teddy Rex, he has a pet dog. Whoa.
Oh
yeah. Like an animal having another animal as a pet.
We haven't even discussed the fact that these dinosaurs are sentient beings and that can talk and everything. We just glossed over that fact. How did that happen? Did they explain that somehow? Didn't they?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I thought they said something.
No, they didn't, because I remember we were watching it and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I was like, so firstly, aliens got...
Aliens, yeah, right.
Dinosaurs got brought back from extinction.
How did that happen? Not explained.
Firstly, how that happened. They always talk about like the scientist, and he plays into it somehow, but I don't know.
He's like a mad scientist, so he's literally like a Dr. Frankenstein type figure.
So not only the dinosaurs in this are T-Rex dinosaurs, and
no, there's like different types of them. There's like a Stegosaurus and a Pterodactyl. Fuck yeah, they're all different types of. Don't just shoehorn them into being Tyrannus. You're racist too. You're just like Whoopi. No, there's a bunch of different species. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Why are we debating this? Yeah.
But anyway, so they're brought back. They're scaled down because they can live in a human world. A normal dino could not fit in this room.
They're still enormous. Like they're still larger than humans.
They're just like uncomfortably big. Like
they're like about 8 feet tall, and they probably weigh like 600 pounds each. Like they're huge.
Like how we live would probably just be an inconvenience.
But they could fit through a door, probably. You know, they just have to like cram themselves through it.
Yeah. But anyway, so
we're just talking about how life is for these fake ass stupid dinosaurs in this dumb movie.
Like remember they got assigned to a trash truck, but he couldn't fit in the front, so he had to be in the back.
My God, their vehicle, their cop vehicle was totally. This is the one that blew my mind apart. They have a trash truck as their squad car. Whoopi's driving, and they just throw Theodore Rex in the back. He's like laying on garbage on the way to.
Ew, he kept saying the word gushy.
Yeah, like it was like
so
squishy.
Gushy back here.
It was like squishy hot garbage back there that he's just like laying in while commuting to
to and from stuff. He would smell
disgusting.
So bad.
Yeah, it was so disgusting. That really made my stomach turn.
But still, what I've been trying to get toward
is
that they can talk and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
they're sentient beings.
Normal interactions and, like, go to jobs and stuff.
Right.
Like, there's a huge step between just a dinosaur being alive and a dinosaur acting like a person.
That's something that science has been kicking around. Like, they're thinking about cloning, like, a woolly mammoth from frozen samples in the ice. That's something that's been talked about for 10 years now. And
but integrating them into society?
No way, I'm just saying. So bringing back a dinosaur is a little far-fetched.
Okay.
But it's not like Jurassic Park. You believe that they were able to bring back dinosaurs. Yeah. Like, you believe that could happen.
I don't think that's outrageous.
But to have them talking and with personalities, like, similar to humans.
Handling money and just, like...
And they're how about
wearing clothes? Like,
they talk about
weird.
There's that one scene at the beginning where there's people just like stealing meat or something like that for dinosaurs. You remember that shit? Yeah, and then they go out to dinner with Teddy Rex.
Eat like a certain type of meat or something.
You just want meat, period, because they're carnivores. But then Teddy, I just call him Teddy. Theodore Rex is like, he's at dinner with Whoopi, and he's like a vegan and is eating a salad or something.
Yeah.
Very weird.
But it really
This movie blows. This movie's the worst.
It is the worst. Hold on. But at the end, there's like... So Whoopi Goldberg may have been a robot the whole time.
Wait, what?
Remember? She had like all those like lightning things.
Oh, yes! Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I just had my mind blown up again for the second time about that reveal. Yeah, she totally was a cyborg. She had like crackling lightning going all over her body and was incapacitated. And like, Teddy, you gotta go on.
This was as surprising to me as when Joan Cusack ended up being a robot at the end of Toys.
She's eating her vitamin sandwiches.
Yeah, like they're living totally normally in both these movies. Like these characters are living like normal people. Then all of a sudden at the end, it's like, oh, they were a robot the whole time.
It's almost like, you know, as an aside, like, oh, by the way, she's a robot. Why? It doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't change anything about the movie. Doesn't add anything. Like, it just makes it so stupid. Yeah.
It's like they were like getting close to the end of filming, and they were like, "We need a plot twist."
Yeah, exactly. It's like, let's make this piece of shit needs to be a little bit more interesting. I got it. She's a robot, guys. Nope, not interesting.
But the only thing that shows that she's a robot is at the end, she just like freezes, and there's like all these electric currents flowing over her body. And Teddy's...
It's like that fake 80s lightning looking effect.
It was so bad.
It looked like the Emperor from Return of the Jedi.
What year is this from?
94, I believe.
94? That's the same year as Forrest Gump. They were making...
Oh, 94 was one of the best years in cinema history.
Gold then.
Shawshank Redemption came out then.
This was also happening.
Shawshank Redemption came out in 94. A lot of great movies came out in 94.
I guess with the good comes the bad. But, you know, this actually could have balanced out. This could have been bad enough to balance out all of the good movies that were made that year.
It might be... It's the antithesis. It's the yin... It's the yang to their yin, basically. There's balance to the force. Anyways, final judgments on this movie.
This was the worst movie we've ever seen.
This is the worst movie we have watched, and we are experienced bad movie people at this point. We like to torture ourselves. We're never going to watch this again. You paid for this for 40 cents. It's going to look good on your shelf. Never going to be opened again. This movie's terrible.
Yeah.
Don't watch it. Just skip it. Or watch like a clip of it.
Yeah, maybe there's watch the trailer.
Maybe there's something on YouTube where they like mash together like 10 minutes of it. That would be the best way to consume this. Don't sit through this hour.
Just like a condensed, abbreviated
like an hour? Yeah, like an hour and a half. Don't waste your life.
Yeah.
This movie was the worst.
The worst.
Clack.